Today on the Philly Talk podcast, I got to ask y'all a real tough question. Hopefully, everybody drops their answers in the comment section, even if you don't normally comment on YouTube videos. Plus, Colin Cowherd's out here saying the Lions don't have a little chance. He's saying the Lions are going to beat the Eagles week 1. Today, we discuss that and more up next.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's I like. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk podcast. And today we got a lot to get into because tomorrow is game day. Eagles, Lions in Detroit, and yes, it's sold out. I will be live for the play-by-play. Come through. Even if you watch it by yourself, we go hard on the play-by-plays. It's always a fun time, and hopefully we're talking about a win. Now, before we get into the tough question, I'm going to need y'all to help me out and hit that like button. Do it for the Eagles, for the dub. Subscribe and ding the bell so you know when these videos drop. Let's get into it. So this is the tough question. And some people might be saying, it ain't tough. To me, it's tough. I can see a scenario where multiple people on offense and defense stand out. So who stands out the most? I'm going to need to hear from y'all. Eagles take the field tomorrow. Give me your offense and defensive standout of the game. Not the season. Tomorrow's game. A lot of good different combos here, so share. Let me know your thoughts. Plus, when this is over at the end, I'll come back to here and I'll go through the Twitter comments to see what some people had said. Follow your boy on Twitter at Philly_Mike25. It's right below me. Now, let's hear what Colin Cowherd actually said about the Eagles and Lions matchup. He talks highly of how the Lions finished the season. Who cares? The new season. Listen to what he said, and then we'll debunk it all.
Lions are 3-3 their final 6 games. And once Jared Goff got comfortable at the end of the year, he completed 69% of his throws, 11 TDs, 2 picks. So he was very good in his final 5 starts. They have 2 of the best tackles in football. I love their tackle tandem. And the Eagles could not get to the quarterback last year, second fewest sacks. Detroit, an inspired football team, not a great one, but they're at home as a dog. Dan Campbell, if nothing else, is a great motivator. I'm going to take the Lions to win one of the more entertaining games of the weekend.
27-26, the Lions win one of the more entertaining games of the week. Shout out to Tom Stakes. I follow him on Twitter. He follows me. He's the one who tweeted this, and it made me think about putting this in my video. Now, again, he's talked about what the Lions did at the end of the season, and all week I've been saying it's a different Lions team, right? When we played them and we won, hold up, I forgot what the score is. Let Merrill Reese remind me.
Eagles 44, the Lions 6. They could have won by more.
They could have won by more, he said. I remembered. I was just playing with y'all. But anyways, Amon St. Brown was not utilized the same way he was. He just wasn't. TJ Hawkinson was their best weapon when we played them week 7. Now, we know their offensive line changed. We know they got Aiden Hutchinson, and we know that Amon St. Brown is a different animal. He led their team by 35 targets. The closest person to him, number 2, was 35 targets fewer. We know all that. But what he said is a little interesting, right? Maybe I should have never yawned because it is an NFL team. Jared Goff and the Lions went 3-3 to end the season. They got some extra help. Year 2 of the coach. 11 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. In his last 6 games, that's not bad, 69%. But he's basing it all off their offensive line got better and our defensive line stunk last year? True, 31st is not good. But did he forget how many sacks we got against the offensive line of the Lions last year? Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sacks. So we were one of the worst teams to get the quarterback, and we still got them 6 times. They upgraded, but they're still hurt on the offensive line. Vaitai not playing. Who knows what's happening with their center? You can't just talk about the tackles. Where's your interior line? Yeah, we got BG back. Yeah, Hassan Reddick's coming off the edge. Same with Josh Sweat. who, by the way, we'll talk about at the end of this video, who had 2 sacks in the last game, coming off a 7.5 sack season. But the interior is going to be vulnerable. No Vitae and possibly no center. And if he's there, he's going to be nicked up. You're going to deal with Fletch, Hargrave, and Davis up the middle? Sheesh. We got 6 sacks. I understand that this Lions team is motivated. They were on Hard Knocks. They're showing all the highlights. Man, if you look at Jalen Reagor, Nelson Aguilar, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside highlights, they're going to be small, but they're only going to show the stuff you do good. That's not who they are in its totality. So I respect the Lions. I got the score being around 33-22. A little close. Eagles pull off in the second half because we are more for the second half. But we still win by double digits. Stop playing with me, Colin Cowherd. He just looks at the bird's eye view. 31st in sacks. Their offensive line got better. Well, go break down the actual game and why we were 31st. Things have changed. Whether we blitz or not, we're not going to be as passive in the secondary, which will trickle down all through the D line. And then you get dogs like Reddick, BG back, Sweat trying to make sure he can stay in the rotation. It is about to be a fun time to be an Eagles fan. Speaking of Sweat, I like the way he got these 2 sacks against the Lions. And again, they did upgrade their offensive line. Amase Brown is going to be a guy you have to watch. I might play him in fantasy because although I think we're going to shut down their offense a little bit, if they score 22 points, I could see him being the focal point. Just a guy who doesn't really beat any of our DBs but gets volume. I'm in a PPR league, so he might get like 7 catches for 67 yards or something like that. I don't know. They slip in a touchdown and some zone defense. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But Josh Sweat, coming off a 7.5 sack season. Everybody's talking about the return of BG. Last time he was here, 9 sacks. Hassan Reddick, every time he plays, he gets double digits the last 2 years. But Josh Sweat, coming off a 7.5 sack season, I think his stock is still rising. I like the way he got these sacks. Let's look at it. 1, he uses technique and speed, which is the first one. The second one, he said, I'm just going to go through you. So here, he's going to go around number 67 and chase down Jared Goff. Now, he said, why do I got to go around you? That was a double team. TJ Hawkinson kind of helped out on that play. Let's look at it again. I just went right around 67. Come here, dinner time. And here, Hawkinson tries to help out a little bit. He can't block, and 67 goes down on his back. Just an all-around good rush, both of them, from Josh Sweat. And I'm expecting to see 7.5 or more. Now, depending on how they play BG, depending on how they use Hassan Reddick at the linebacker position, rushing, or like the Buffalo Bills did with Von Miller. Von Miller is a pass rusher, but also he's labeled as a linebacker. But he was lining up on the edge, not in the joker position, or not with his hand in the ground, in the joker position. So he's a stand-up defensive end pass rusher. So when you see Von Miller and 3 other guys go, that's not a blitz. It's only 4. You think it's a blitz because you see Von Miller, but he's not blitzing from the linebacker position. There's other linebackers back there holding their spots down. I need to see Reddick employ like that. But if you employ Reddick like that and you play BG a lot, does Sweat snaps go down? How does his production go up? He's going to have to make the most of every snap. Maybe a fresh Barnett, a fresh Sweat, a fresher BG, and Reddick is just going to cause so much havoc on the outside. And let's not forget Jordan Davis, Hargrave, and Fletch on the inside. Hargrave, coming off a 7.5 sack season itself, could possibly be extended this offseason or this season because Fletch is leaving. I like all that. And last but not least, I'm going to show you who, if you missed the Dave Spadaro interview, who he picked as his offensive and defensive player before we get out of here. Listen to his offensive defensive player. Give me an offensive player and a defensive player to come out and just set the tone on offense and defense, a guy who stands out in Sunday's game.
Yeah, so like to me, Hassan Reddick has been great. I mean, he's just been relentless on defense. I really like the energy that he plays with. I like how physical he is. So I kind of want him to set the tone. I see him being that kind of player. And then on offense, every day, every single day, A.J. Brown makes a play. He's a different kind of receiver. I know that we have not seen him in a game yet. He gets open by using his body. He's not a speedster. He's a little bit like Terrell Owens, but Terrell had that incredible speed as well. But AJ, he just is so. It's just so interesting watching him create separation with his body, and I think he'll come out and set the tone. And I think he'll come out and make big plays. And I think that he's the one you look to kind of set things up with great energy because he's got a confidence, a swagger about him. He's excited to be here. He's excited to be playing with Jalen, and I believe those two players really can come out and do some things early to two new Eagles to come out and say, hey, this is our team, and let's roll.
Our team and let's roll. A.J. Brown on offense, Hassan Reddick on defense. I ain't mad at it at all. Let's look at, before we get out of here, remember, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Offensive player, defensive player, even if you don't comment before, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, all that good stuff. It goes a long way for the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. But let's actually take a look at these comments. So DJ Eastwood said Kaiser White sacking a pick. He also said, let me pull it up. He also said offensively it will be Jalen Hurts, so everybody can come attack him after he balls out in week 1. Ian said Brown 2 TDs, 150 yards, and Sweat with 2 sacks. Maybe he watched my video, or maybe he's a big Josh Sweat guy too. Young Oldhead said Goddard has a big game. Watkins, woo, nice combination. Goddard and Watkins. Or no, Watkins' speed is going to open Goddard up for mismatches. I don't think he put, BG comes back and sets the tone for the season. Dallas Goedert from Matthew leads in yards against Detroit. Fletcher release revenge tour on Detroit to start. Timbo said almost certain A.J. Brown scores. Won't have any receiving yards though. What? Get him out of here. A lot of good comments. Glenn said, I think Sanders goes off and Graham. Okay, I like that. Defensive line, he's telling everybody he's going to eat. Fuego said Goddard and Reddick. Hurts and Slay. Matthew said Sanders and Reddick. Offense, Jalen Hurts. Defense, Jordan Davis says Brittany. Sheesh. Mick said everybody. Iceman said Goddard and Kaiser White. Black Ninja said Sanders. Jesse said Hurts and Sweat. Rob said Miles, Sanders, and Fletch. Sweaty and Smitty. Pascal and Reddick. Sanders and Reddick. Goddard and Kaiser White. Sanders and Hargrave. Miles and White. Sanders and Davis. Reddick and Smith. Gainwell and Garner Johnson. That's a crazy combo, but again, I ain't mad at any answer. Smitty and Kaiser. Reddick and Pascal. Smitty on offense, Bradbury on defense, Quez, Kaiser, AJ, CJ, Garner, Davis, Hurts. My God, it never ends. I can't keep going. Philly Mike said it was a tough question, and it is a tough question. And if you made it this far, and most people don't, so you're not going to find out, because we also picked the most valuable offensive defensive player on Battle Birds podcast, which will be tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. before the game. With that being said, listen, for some strange reason, right? Let me turn this off because I keep hearing that. For some strange reason, what am I doing? For some strange reason, I know there's a lot of playmakers on this team, but I have a feeling it's a Miles Sanders pretty darn good game. So I love AJ, Devontae, and Goddard, and Hurts. I think they're gonna be able to pass the ball, but I just have a feeling. I'm going Miles Sanders on offense and defense. I love Kaiser. I love the pass rush. But I also have a feeling about James Bradbury. I like Slay because he's going back to Detroit, but I like it. And I said it. Bradbury on defense, Miles on offense. Don't ask me why. It's not who I think is the best. I got a gut feeling. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.